Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 497. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinsod.
Cowabunga.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Yo.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners, to 497 of the Moviecast. As you heard Corey preview, we have a great topic tonight. We're going to be discussing the 30th anniversary of the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live action movie that came out. So we're going to be going through and talking about the franchise essentially there, I think, a little bit, talk about the movie, what it spawned, and what it meant for us too back then. We were young, obviously. Mike, how old were you then?
So young that I didn't see this in theaters. The first movie I saw in theaters was Turtles 2. I saw this on a VHS recording afterwards. Okay. But, So, I was, 3 or 4 in the 1990s?
I was 9, so you couldn't have been that old. So, anyways, okay, so before we get into that, we got some news to talk about. We've got what we've been up to. I'll kick us off. I kind of started I got into I got into a new show, and I finished the whole thing. I binge watched it. It was from not Greg Berlanti, Jesus. The guy from The Office. What's his name? I can't remember.
Yes, that guy.
The creator of The Office from the U.S. We were talking about it last week, how he had a couple series coming out. Well, he had one on Amazon that came out called Upload. So I watched all of Upload, actually. I finished that whole season last week.
I was a bunch when I was watching Chuck.
Yeah. So I kind of got into it, and then as I was watching, it's 10 episodes. The premise is futuristic. It's supposed to be like a comedy, like a dark comedy. I didn't find myself laughing as much though, but I did enjoy it. I was like, okay, it's got some weird humor. It's people's heads just blowing up, and I don't know, or just getting disintegrated. So it's kind of a weird thing, but it's like a futuristic world where instead of when you die, your consciousness can be uploaded to this retirement home essentially.
Yeah, I saw ads for that actually.
Yeah, so I watched the whole thing of that. I liked it. I watched the whole season, and it's short. It's a quick watch. It's under 30 minutes an episode. Some of them, I think one of them was 35 minutes because it's they don't hold you to that. But I actually enjoyed it. I would recommend for those that kind of like watching The Office. You can watch this, and I feel like he's doing the same thing in this, kind of giving us characters in this season that maybe not fleshing them out as much. But they're there to build on as you go into the series. So I don't know. I feel like the last 2 episodes for me, I was kind of more like, okay, I've come this far, I'm going to watch it. I didn't hate the show, but I was like, I didn't like where it went sort of. But other than that, I was really into it up until that point. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm finishing this up now because I got 2 episodes left. And I'm like, okay, finale. But hopefully, I think it's getting a second season already. So I also I got back into The Expanse. I restarted it because I didn't remember where the hell I was. So I'm 5 episodes through it now.
Okay.
Yeah, so I watched 5 episodes of that. And it's this time around. I'm like, I don't know. I
ready for it?
Yeah, I'm ready. This is it. It's time to watch this show now. So I watched 5 episodes since yesterday. So so I mean, I'm into this now. It's and I guess the timing of it didn't work last time. This time it does. So enjoying the show quite a bit. It's also now in 4K and HDR, which is awesome.
That helps.
That helps. It looks fantastic. Holy crap! I was like, wow, this looks really good for an older show. Not older, but that came out a little while ago, season 1. So. But yeah, so it's Thomas Jane. I always like Thomas Jane. So
sure.
Yeah. So I'm enjoying that, and I think besides that, I watched the Scoob movie.
Oh yeah.
Kids movie. Man, guys, I will tell you that. Have you guys growing up with Hanna-Barbera cartoons?
Sure.
We all know they've created their shared universe, guys. It's all connected with this movie, which is weird. I feel like this should have been a movie where they did a mystery solving kind of thing, and this really wasn't a mystery solving. It was a world builder. So I mean, there's every kind of character you can think of in this. I mean, there's references to Hong Kong Phooey, to Grape Ape. There's was it Dick Dastardly was in there? Muttley. All the older cartoons you used to remember. There was references to Jellystone National Park. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here. It's like an all-connected universe. And
wait, these characters are actually in it, or they were just referencing it?
Well, some of them were in it, and some of them are referenced. So they have a lot of Easter eggs for like characters that you would recognize, and there's the characters that are legitimately in it. I mean, the villain is Dick Dastardly, so which is kind of cool to have him as the villain in the show because you're like, oh, I'm watching that. But and they team up with what's his name, the Falcon guy,
Blue Falcon.
Blue Falcon, thank you. They team up with Blue Falcon in this, and it's funny. He's quite funny, and I actually enjoyed it, but it's not like the best of stories. I enjoyed it for the cameo appearances and such. So I don't know if it's worth the purchase right now. Maybe if you get it on if it's free on something, check it out. You can watch it and get the references. I obviously, 7-year-old, she wanted to watch it. She loves Scooby-Doo, so we watched it. That's kind of
$20 compared to like 35 or
yeah, it's still cheaper than going to the movies. Yeah. So they got me with the $5 more. See, they got me for 25 because I was like, well, I'll buy it because if she loves it, I don't have. You know what I mean? It's like it's owned now,
still cheaper.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, but yeah, so that's it for me, really. Corey, what have you been watching?
Not much, really, just old stuff. So, same old. Same old.
Mike?
I've watched a couple more episodes of Young Justice. It's all right.
Yeah. All right.
One thing that gets me a little bit is Nightwing is like, older and a leader now, and he still has like the same voice actor doing the same sort of like prepubescent voice, and it's sort of annoying to me a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Did you remember this from that? Like Nightwing is an adult, he's the leader, and he's still like talking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh hey guys, come on. I'm like, okay, it's a little strange, but that's And I see that the new characters are there. I don't know how much they were needed, but they're there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay. It's not bad by any stretch, but we'll see how it goes.
I completely forgot to mention I finished Castlevania finally because I mentioned that in the chat, so I forgot to mention it here. So, great finale! Holy crap! Like, I was actually
mentioned it last week.
No, I thought I just finished it. I just finished it last week after the podcast. I'm pretty certain I didn't
Oh,
finish
really?
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you.
No, because I know that you were giving me shit on the podcast for having like one episode left. I actually had two left.
Okay.
I actually had 2 left. So, because like when you hit that second to last episode, it just takes off. You have to watch both in a row.
Yeah.
What a finale! Holy crap! Loved it. Absolutely loved the finale. I thought the season was a little bit slower.
It's a build up in the next season.
Oh man, that finale was fantastic though, and I can't wait for next season. That's where it leaves you. You're like, oh gosh.
Yeah. But like I was saying, like when I watched it, I loved Isaac's conversations. Like I felt like he had the most like character development in this season, which was kind of odd because I was just like, really.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. Like with these characters that like you're like, yeah, they're like NPCs, and it's like, oh,
that's what I thought too.
Like especially the conversation with the captain, I was like, damn, that's like, it's like kind of deep. And then were you surprised by like the amount of TNA in that last episode?
Second to last. Well, maybe it was last. I think it was the second to last episode. I was like, wow, they're really just going full out for the MA rating right now.
Yeah, so I was like, because like before they've always like teased it, like you've seen like behind the shots or like shadow, whatever, like it's never that blatant. I was like, that's a titty with a nipple. I was like, what? I was like, oh, that's a lot of titty. That's a penis. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, they just went full MA rating, and so I was a little surprised. I think that was the weird part about the last episode for me. I was like, wow, that is weird that just kind of popped in there. But
it's funny you mentioned that. So if you're done, perfect transition because I actually watched Castlevania 2. A couple of my friends were doing like a weekly rotation of shows to watch or shows and or movies. So this week I was like, oh, you know what? You guys are real anime snobs and stuff like that. So let me show you some good old Western animation. So we watched Castlevania, and within like the first 10 minutes, we're like, oh my god, like especially like with all the blood and gore and guts and stuff like that. But they were on board by the end and stuff like that. So I was like, there you go, look at that, getting more culture in you and stuff like that. But aside from that, speaking of Western animation, Netflix got Avatar: Last Airbender. So I've been going through the first season of that. And you know what? Season 1, despite it being a little shaky at some times, because I feel like they definitely went for the kiddie audience. I mean, it's a kid's cartoon. Mm-hmm. But started out really kiddie, and stuff like that, but it still holds up really well. Like, I'm on the Blue Spirit episode right now in the first season. I was just like, damn, like, this is such a good episode because, like, subverts expectations in, like, a really good way, in a mature theme that, you know, I would not expect of a children's cartoon and stuff like that. So I'm really enjoying the rewatch and stuff like that. Cool. Just comfort food for the soul right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I saw that come up on my feed. Actually, it was on there a long time ago because it's in my stuff, my lists. So I had to have added it years ago, and it came back up, and it went right back on my list. So I'm like, I gotta watch this again. I was very tempted to start it, but I'm like, no, you know, I in my head I'm like, it was time to get into The Expanse, and I'm like, I'm doing this now. And if I get distracted by a comfort show, I'm like, there's no chance I'll start something new. So, but yeah, so there's like I even like, oh man, I queued up movies, man. I was in a lot of watching mode this week, so I didn't get much gaming done, but it was definitely a watching mode for me. But all right, let's get into the news. Let me open the news so I can talk about it. We had what's her name? Ruby Rose. Is Ruby Rose the actress? Mm-hmm. We can talk about that real quick. How she has just exited Batwoman now after one season. She is officially out and not coming back for season 2. I thought that was weirdly announced.
Pretty surprising. Yeah, she's the title character and
she's the main character. And they're just gonna recast her is what they're trying to do now. So it seems like it was sudden because they have nobody in mind at the moment, the way they're talking. But there had to be disagreements.
Why would they bother? Man, I doubt it.
Have they what?
They haven't even started filming season 2, so it's like
they couldn't have. I wouldn't think.
But I mean, she announced it today, and it seems like they're like, yeah, we're gonna try to stay true to the role, and so they're gonna cast another. But it's still shocking that it was announced because she's been getting.
I didn't even know the first season was out.
Oh yeah, it's been on for a while. I mean,
did you watch?
No, but because they just unveiled Bruce Wayne on the show finally.
I've heard nothing but bad things about this show. Yeah, I don't think Batman fans are too interested in this show.
Yeah, it's a very
You guys watch Gotham though?
TQ. Huh?
Batman was in Gotham, sort of.
Not until the end.
He was as much as Superman was in Smallville, which we just talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
No,
anyways,
it's surprising. I would say
it's surprising. I didn't know
she had health issues though.
She got really hurt on the set. She was almost paralyzed.
She has health issues. I think that it contributed to some of that.
Okay. So wow, yeah. Just like Batman, he always gets recast. Batwoman's the same curse, huh?
I don't know. I'm surprised they're even gonna. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't just continue the show. But we'll see.
They will. No, they will. It's doing well enough in ratings for them to warrant that. They have no Arrow anymore. Don't forget, that's done. So.
They have everything else though. So they have a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, they just released Stargirl. I saw. But.
Yeah.
Tying this into HBO Max, we've heard rumors about the Snyder Cut finally coming out. I know I saw it on Twitter the other day that somebody posted you want to subscribe to HBO Max with a hashtag #releasethesnydercut. And then Greg Miller retweeted that, and then it just started this explosion of it's happening. And then we're hearing more and more whispers of this happening, of like maybe a mini series showing up with this movie. Basically it's dividing it into like 4 segments or 3 segments.
How long could it have been? Jesus Christ.
It's going to be a 3-hour movie, but it's a raw cut. Like, you're not going to get the effects that they didn't get done. They're not going to be done. So it's going to be like the Blade Runner raw cut they did. So there will be some it's like a working print essentially. And
I'm happy actually not because I care about this movie. It's a piece of shit. And I don't.
You heard my response. You heard my
right.
Go on.
Right, but it's finally going to put a spotlight on. Snyder is a fucking hack, and there's no more excuses because all these fans had that as like the ace in the hole. Like, oh, well, if they had the Snyder cut, blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, you're gonna see that doesn't make a difference. Like, you can't,
Well, I think it's gonna be totally different, but I don't know.
I think it will be totally different, but I don't think it's gonna be any better. I think it's gonna be. That's my theory.
Justice League as it was really stupid, but like kind of fun. This will probably be maybe more coherent, but not fun, and kind of, I don't know. So we'll see. I hope it's bad enough where the studio interference felt more justified.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where because when you watch Justice League, you can see that the scars of it being cut to shit, like just all throughout it. So, I mean, it'll be interesting. I don't know if people consider BVS better than Justice League. In some ways, I guess it is, but I expect this to be more BVS. And that's it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think it'll be just more BVS, and I just don't see the I just don't see the, like, I don't know,
appeal.
Does anybody have that much faith?
No.
I don't see where it's the fanboys just wanting to hold on to the fact that.
I would be interested to see what more there could have been, and
I mean, if I was Snyder, I would like be praying to God this doesn't come out. It's like. Let everyone like assume that this is a good movie and be what they want it to be. Like sometimes the unknown is better because you don't need to have it to make it good. I don't know. I mean, I didn't think
sometimes the imagination is better than reality.
Exactly. I just don't think that you should be messing around with it. Like, just cut your losses and move on at this point. Like,
right. Like that's the thing is like even in the best case scenario. Let's say the cut comes out and it's great.
People love it. Oh my god.
People love it. Like critically, like commercially, whatever. People love it. What are they gonna do? Like, the cinematic universe is in the dumpster right now.
Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck are not coming back.
So right. You know that Henry Cavill could come back.
Please, it's not happening at this point.
Why not? Why?
These people have been moving on.
He's got Witcher money.
He says he has time. He specifically said he has time to do it too.
Well, then if he's saying these things, he should have been in Shazam. But whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, if it's over with. This is just like grasping at straws. And like I said, I hope it's fucking terrible so that we can finally say yes.
You know what? I hope it's good, so you guys get upset about it.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm going to watch it.
Well, I will. I'm not gonna get upset. I don't care.
You guys are acting like you're upset. The idea that they could just got salvaged something is upsetting you.
No, it's not.
It's not that it's upsetting. Like I said, it's just silly.
I just think it's stupid.
See?
The movie's like, what, 3 years old now at this point?
Yeah.
2? Like, who cares? There's no Justice League 2. There's no Man of Steel 2. There's no new...
So yes, they want to see more of this. They want to see more of it. There were fans of this movie. It made like $750 million.
I was a fan. I love that.
People who liked it want to see something else. And now they're not going to get a new movie, so let them have it.
The problem is it's not a new movie. It's not.
We'll see what it's going to be. It could be very different.
I guess.
I mean, at least I will say I guarantee you that Superman will look better in this.
Nope.
I can go in that. I'll go out on that limb.
I do think a lot of this
visually look better, or because that's all they can do.
They're not digitally looking anything. They're not gonna have any CG over the face. I mean, he's gonna look better automatically.
So he's gonna have a mustache.
No, he's
not. Wrong with it.
Because Snyder Cut would be without the reshoots.
Yes, so he won't have the mustache yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think a lot of this also is people want to scapegoat Joss Whedon a little bit too. So if this seems more coherent or better in some estimation, again, I expect this best case to be like BVS level where it's there, it's good. You see the tone. You may not agree with most of the tone, and it's too much jammed together, but it'll be there. Some people like that movie still, and I think it's okay. I go back and forth on it in my mind a little bit, but Justice League is just kind of a different thing altogether. And if they want more of the old thing, then maybe this is what they want to see. I don't know. It's even just interesting to see from a history standpoint of how much meddling really happened. What was Warner Brothers so afraid to have come out?
I mean, at that point, I'd rather see a documentary than the movie itself. But let's cut our losses and move on.
Yeah, let's just move on. So that was it for DC news, I think. I think, right? I don't know if I missed anything here. No. No. All right. Scream 5. Scream 5? Is this Scream 5? Yeah, it's the reboot. Scream the reboot. Corey.
The reboot of the reboot?
Yeah. So what do you think? Dewey's back.
Yeah, I saw.
I don't know. Corey's a big fan of Scream. I
love Scream.
Yeah,
but I don't necessarily. And I liked the fourth one with what's her name? Erica Robert? What's the Eric Roberts' niece? Whatever her name is. That was fine. That movie was fine, but I don't necessarily need...
Hayden Panettiere or whatever her name is going to be
Claire.
back. Yes, Claire.
The cheerleader.
Heroes. The cheerleader.
Oh, she's back? Was she in one of them? I don't even remember that.
She apparently was in one of them, and apparently she'll be back. And so we'll. I've heard that Neve Campbell's back.
Oh, okay.
So that's.
So this is not a reboot. It's just a sequel.
It's a sequel-ish restart of the whole saga. Yeah, I don't know. Reboot. They're probably going to be much future. Yeah.
I think the first one was really cool.
Or a recall.
Yeah, the first one was great. Obviously parodying some of the tropes of horror films and created its own genre almost. And then, from there it just was more of the same. So we'll see. Hopefully it can do the same again, but no, we'll see. I don't necessarily need it. So.
And I did miss DC news with Colin Farrell saying the Penguin is not a major role at all in the Batman movie. So just I'm guessing cameo appearance for the Penguin then. So looks like the Riddler's our main villain in that, which is good. Because I felt like there was too many villains, right? I mean, no disagreement here.
Yeah, there always is, honestly.
Depends on the story.
I'm okay with the Riddler being the villain as long as obviously the Penguin makes a cameo. That's good. Let's see, Umbrella Academy season 2 coming out July 31st, 2020. Excellent.
Coming up a couple months.
Coming up quick. Great show. If you haven't seen that yet, check it out. It's really good. Psyched to see this coming back. I was worried that it was going to get delayed thanks to the the virus here, but we got a couple shows at least done, right? It looks like Netflix was able to finish a lot of things, and they're able to stagger their releases. It looks like so because the networks are, there's nothing in the fall. I mean, we're not getting fall TV.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the thing is Netflix has just built and amassed such a huge amount. I wouldn't be surprised if they're just sitting on stuff.
They are. They had to be. They had to be sitting on this.
Right.
They had to be. There's no, because I mean, it's suddenly ready to go, and there's no
because
talk.
They're not beholden to box office, DVD, Blu-ray sale. They're just they paid for it. They can just release. It doesn't matter to them. It really doesn't.
Yeah. Let's see here. What else? I mean, that's good for them. It's gonna keep me subscribed this summer. I'm gonna be keeping my subscription next month. Yeah, not canceling this month.
Oh.
You know what it is I still feel like I need to give the Community more time, even though I can't stand Joe McHale. I haven't watched it in a little while, but I'm gonna check that out. And Tiger King, I'm gonna finish. I can't watch that show. I hate that show. But I don't know. There's gonna be other stuff on there. There's a lot of anime I didn't watch that they brought out that I heard was really pretty good, and so I wanted to check that out. So.
Oh, sorry. The other thing I forgot to mention was I finished up that High Score Girl.
Yeah. High Score. How was that?
That was a really good show. Definitely. Anybody that's nostalgic for the 90s arcade era, owes it to themselves to watch this series. Just for that
Netflix
alone.
as well.
Yeah, Netflix. It's so good. And the story is actually pretty good too. They do a good job of making you care about several of the characters and developments that happen, stuff like that. But it's just so awesome seeing a show just have full on not only just references, they actually go deep into it. They're because a lot of the focus is on Street Fighter, for example, and they're the matchup for these two characters is 90-10 or something like that. But I'm gonna make it 100-0 or something like that, and they're talking about the hardest super moves or how to do standing pile drivers from the Zangief neutral position, and just wow, this game really goes deep on the actual game knowledge and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. That's cool. I want to check that out actually. So I'll definitely add that to my list. So let's see here. Ahsoka Tano has a show reportedly in development. That's the big thing I couldn't wait for. We expected, right? I mean, Disney Plus, clearly. We can see now Disney's plans for Star Wars. It's going to be show-based, and I think it could be great. I think this could be awesome.
Yeah, that's honestly where they should have been going.
Yeah. I think that the box office is okay, but I still love to see Star Wars in the box office, but far fewer releases and more single epic movies rather than trilogies. I think that would be good. But these big stories they have, put them in shows instead. I think you could do better in the shows, more time, same budget. They have great budgets for this thing. So we don't have any confirmation, but I think we mentioned on this podcast that we assume they're bringing her in as almost like a screen test. So Mandalorian season 2 is going to have her there to see how she plays out in front of the camera, and then it's your own show, right? I think that's really how they're gonna.
We're thinking this is a live action show.
Yeah, I do, but you can still think it's animated, I guess. There's no confirmation either or, but I do believe that this ties in with Mandalorian season 2. I really do.
Yeah.
So the same time frame for this show?
Yeah.
There's just a live action, just an easier sell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's
you're bringing in Rosario Dawson.
You don't go out of your way to get her and just not.
You sign her. She's campaigned for the role. I just don't see it being a cameo only role for her. Like they've been doing with everybody else in the show. I just don't see it. So not with this character. Like I don't see them bringing this character in finally from the animated screen, only to throw her back into the animated screen again. That's really my point. Like I don't. That's why I'm thinking it's.
They specifically did the Clone Wars the last season to wrap up the animated storyline for her character.
So, and I have to watch that still. That is going to happen this week, by the way. That's
the
happening.
biggest Star Wars fan.
Whoa, Cole, calm down. I'm watching it this week. It's happening. I need to play. I had to play Doom a little bit. I haven't really gotten a chance to play Doom much. And it's just mindless fun, that game. Let's see. Also,
the thing with this show, I was just gonna say, the thing with this show is I hated the book, and like I don't know. I just don't have much.
I hope they can make it work. I hope they do.
Yeah.
I literally forgot about the book until you bring it up, Corey. Every time.
The book was just so goddamn awful.
Writer. Not the same writer, Corey. It's fine. You just don't bring that writer in. The problem is, I think they would give that writer like an episode. I really do.
Canon. Shit's canon.
I know. But I think that
it's well interesting to see what the timeline is for this.
Star Wars has rebooted shit before. They'll reboot it again. Like that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
So, Timothy Olyphant cast in a mystery role. Rumors today that came up. They updated this a little bit that he was going to be wearing the Boba Fett armor at some point in season 2. I don't know. I don't know what that means. They don't even know what that means. That's what was reported.
Yeah, I can't get excited for that character.
Multiple Boba Fett's?
This sounds like a non-story.
I like Timothy Olyphant.
Slow news day.
I like Timothy Olyphant.
Yeah, I don't know. But
I like him. When you meet an asshole in the morning, you met an asshole. When you meet assholes all day, you're the asshole. That's his,
I don't know. To me, he's an actor. I internally will get confused with other actors, and he's cast as a mystery role with
great in Deadwood.
Sort of bullshit description. This is nothing.
Justified.
Justified was excellent, and so was his role in.
Was he
The Girl Next Door?
Was he the villain in one of the newer Die Hards?
Yep.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
He was also Agent 47.
Yeah.
So if you ever do bad video game movies.
He was the original He was Hitman bad video game movies, which we have to put together at some point. That we've been talking about that for those wondering. That is on our talks. So look for that in the future. We're gonna be doing like worst video game movies of all time. We haven't done a worst list in a while, so that's gonna be a lot of hate. Can't wait for that. Actually, I'm excited for that. But this brings us. We're done with the news. Let's get into our topic, which is 30th anniversary Ninja Turtles. This is the 1990s movie. It's been 30 years, guys. Came out March. Was it 23rd of 1990? I said, or March 23rd, 1990.
Was it 30th or something? I thought.
Or maybe it's the 30th. I don't know. I can't remember what
it's around that time.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been out 30 years. I remember going to the theaters. I can give you my story to start this off. Like, okay, first of all, great movie.
Settle in, kids.
Great movie. Let me tell you my story. There's a movie theater by us that's terrible now. And it was terrible back then, I guess, but it was good in terms. Ledgewood. Ledgewood, however, theaters by me, had this great summer promotion where this is summer, by the way. It was like May. It started in May. Summer's May for movies. This movie came out in March, don't forget. So we saw it in March, obviously, right off the bat. Saw it, and then they gave this promotion where you could pay like $6 to go to see your first movie, and then it's $1 every movie after that for the day. How you can stay there and just pay $1 every time you want to see a movie. We saw Ninja Turtles like 3 times that day with my brothers and myself. I remember just looping around watching that movie. It was unbelievable. We just saw, I don't know how many times. It was still playing, so we just watched that like over and over. And that's how much I loved this movie. I was a big Ninja Turtles fan when I was younger. I had all the toys. I actually and I will take credit for this, and I will claim this, and you can call me crazy. I'm sure Corey's heard this.
I think we've talked about it before on the podcast.
I have created 2 turtles that you have seen on screen. I have the old drawings, still the originals, upstairs here at this house of me drawing as a kid of these turtles, and them showing up in the cartoon later on, towards the end of the cartoon. There was a Elephant Man one with a tusk, and there was I believe. I can't remember my second one, but the tiger. There's a tiger in the same episode. They both showed up in the exact same episode. I have the creations. I created these turtles. That's how much into the turtles I was. I mailed it to the creators of the show and said, "These are all here. This is what I created." And they put it in the show. I got no thank you from it, but still.
They also probably forgot you even existed, Jim.
This is a true story, guys. I have the originals, and I have
That's
the date.
free labor, kid.
No, dude, I remember you showing those.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I drew them, colored them as I was, what, probably 10 at that point, 11. I don't know. I had them, and we even mailed them into them with a letter and everything, and they showed up in the show later on. So, yeah. Anyways, so I love the Ninja Turtles like crazy. This movie, I think it's good, right? We're good. Nobody hates the movie, right? We all love it. I just want to make sure we don't have any haters on the podcast. Okay. So yeah, Tony, did you see who saw this in the theaters? I saw it in the theaters.
I did.
Tony, do you remember that experience or by chance?
Not the experience. I just remember being excited because, it was Turtles. It was live action. It was, a theatrical experience. Because as a kid, going to staying home and watching cartoons is one thing, but going to the movie theater was a big deal. My parents and my older sister, she would, take me. Actually, I think this is around the time that she was working at the movie theater, so I might have actually seen it multiple times too. Maybe not in a row like that, but
it was a lot in a row that day.
Yeah, it was just nuts. Even as a kid, even though you don't really fully understand, a movie is a huge budget, it's a big investment. This and the other thing, you're just oh my god, there's a movie,
yeah.
Even though it was only probably 90 minutes at best, it would feel 2 hours, 2.5 hours or something like that. Oh my god, and stuff like that. And just the different style, it was more adult, darker.
Pizza sales skyrocketed here.
The promotion was crazy.
Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds.
Who did they officially go with as a sponsor partner? Was it?
I think the first one, it was Pizza Hut.
It was definitely Pizza
Hut. Because they had a tie-in, right? There was actually a brand in the movie, right? Or no?
Mm-hmm.
There might have been, which is funny because I don't think the actual pizzas they used were Pizza Hut pizzas.
They weren't.
They looked like, actual New York
They were New York style pizzas, but they tied in, their promotion was with Pizza Hut back then. I know that.
I think
Domino's wasn't that big.
The box might have said Pizza Hut, but it probably wasn't Pizza Hut pizza.
No. So it was definitely New York style pizza at that point. So. Corey, tell us about we'll get to Mike afterwards.
Yeah. That it's been a while, but similar to what you guys are saying, just thinking about, this is really cool. Obviously ninjas and stuff are huge for me, and martial arts, and so seeing it and just thinking, wow, this looks really good. Look at it now, not so much, but just seeing the ninjas, the turtles rather, just kicking butt and stuff was awesome to see in a live action where it comes to life and stuff. And on the big screen, I don't necessarily remember my theater experience like you do, Jim. It's more just
I do. Yeah
no, it's one of those things where I definitely have memories of going to theaters to see movies, different movies here and there, but more of my memories were watching this movie on VHS. The second one I remember going to theater specifically, but this one I don't remember the exact theater experience. But
I just remember the first sequence with Raphael screaming "damn," which happens a lot.
Damn!
Yeah, I was like a kid at that point. I was like, "Oh my god, it's so dark! It's so dark!" That's what I was thinking. Mike, give me your experience with this thing.
So for me, this movie came out, I was 3 years old, so I did not see it in the theaters. But the first movie I did see in theaters was Ninja Turtles 2.
Yeah.
And I actually saw that before this movie. I saw this recorded later. When I was 3 or 4, really young, I actually didn't. I knew the Turtles were a thing, but I didn't like it until some adult told me, they're the good guys. They always win. I'm like, oh, okay. So then I was okay to watch it. And then I became a big fan at that point. So I actually saw this second. I saw it recorded on TV, VHS. I actually hadn't seen the first like minute or two until recently because we didn't get that part on the recording.
Yeah.
So I didn't see the whole like, the part where they're in the shadows and stuff. I didn't see that right away until recently. I think within this year I saw the full movie again on a DVD just to watch it again, and it was good. And obviously at the time as a little kid, I actually liked the second movie better because I was a little kid and that was what I saw first. But this was clearly a better movie, and this is how I sort of picture the Turtles in like a realistic universe.
Sure.
Even still, it's kind of what we all kind of want back maybe going forward, but it's just the Turtles were a big thing for me, obviously, and it seems like a real long time as a kid. In reality, I suppose it was for me between 1990 and 93. It's only 3 years really, the like height of Turtle mania for me, but that seemed like most of my childhood as a kid. So it was, and obviously I had all the toys too, but this movie was pretty much the peak or like the high point. Maybe the following year with the Turtles 2 coming out, it was still going, but this was it for the Turtles, and for a lot of people this is still the definitive version of the Turtles.
I'd still say like I love Turtles 2 a lot. I really do. Like Kino and like I love that, but this movie for me is like I can't tell you how many times I watched this movie, like in the theaters, at home.
No, in retrospect, this is a better movie.
And it is, yeah, and it is, and I think the costumes look better in this movie. I think the actual costumes look.
I think the first two are they're a little different, but they're both good. The third one's where it gets janky.
Yeah. Third one's really bad.
It's surprising that they like just didn't reuse the same costumes, right?
Yeah,
like,
they had to change them. I don't know why.
There's only 1 year difference between the movies.
1 and 2. Well, in 2, they're made to look a little nicer. You can tell they're like they got like wider eyes. They're like more smiley.
I know. I still feel like they tried to make it more motion, more movement on them, but I still feel like the first movie they looked better. Like that looks the best to me.
It does, except for when you look at like the stunt faces sometimes, and they're frozen. You're like, ooh, like the Michelangelo
the classic
Chucker scene. You see his face frozen in that one. It's like, all right, that's a little weird. But other than that, they did a pretty good job between everything. So. I mean, it just looks great.
No 4K release for this. I was looking for a 4K like steelbook for this. Like, I'd buy this. I haven't seen this movie in forever.
You know how many like wires and cords you'll see coming out of the Turtles with 4K. You can already see it a little bit here and there.
They could touch that up in post.
I guess.
They could.
Yeah. By the way, apparently there was a $20 million marketing campaign tie-in with Pizza Hut. But Domino's Pizza was used as product placement in the film itself.
Which
is great because that would not happen today at all.
No.
Well, the other thing was no one knew that this would blow up as big as it did.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
this is an indie movie at the time.
Their budget
was I don't know how long, but for a long time this was the highest grossing indie movie.
This had a $13.5 million budget and grossed $202 million worldwide.
Yeah. At the time too, which is
insane.
Crazy to think about,
That poster is really good too. The one with them poking out of the sewer manhole thing.
Yeah,
I love that poster.
And this is actually, it's only $8 digital. Maybe I'll pick this up.
Just not up-resed in any way yet.
I know. I'm looking for the 4K version of it. Like I
don't think there's a little bit of mystery around this too, and there's apparently this whole cut storyline. Like you notice how there's April sketches all of the Turtles except Michelangelo.
Yeah.
And that they say that they did have the sketch of him, but he was training, and it's like, oh, that's out of character, but it really isn't. It's because he was taking it more. He was more upset than the rest of the Turtles, which you get a little hint about when he ignores Donatello when they were talking about, waiting for the pizza. Like, what happens if Splinter's gone? So the idea is a little darker, like that Michelangelo, the most fun-loving, like youngest and mentally just could not deal with like Splinter being gone. So he was just like going crazy, like taking it out, like so. And apparently they think they cut that. The picture actually resurfaced somewhere too. They did have a sketch that she just never did. So it's interesting. There's a little bit and other sort of things like they don't know. Apparently they also redubbed. It was supposed to be Michelangelo yelling on the barn, but they redubbed it to be Raphael, just so they didn't think, again, they didn't go down this path. But yeah, so because it was sort of like not expected to be as huge as it was, there's a little bit lost in the history of this movie.
There were so many, I remember the previews for this, like wondering who was going to be in the movie. There was like a mystery for us, my brothers and I. We were always talking about like, because you have like, oh, that could be this guy's hand. Like, what mutant's going to be in this movie? Obviously, it was just the Turtles back then. But as a kid, I was always like guessing at that point what mutants were going to be in this movie. Like to find out that Casey Jones was also in this movie was awesome for me, though. I was like, oh, that's great. And I loved Casey Jones' character in this movie. I thought he was really good.
Really, he's the one guy that I actually think takes away from the film.
I feel like
he's so unnecessary, and not only that, but he detracts from like the greatness of the Turtles, because like he beats up Raph right in the beginning. It's
sort
like
of.
This is a fucking motherfucker that's trained as a ninja his whole life, and some New York Joe Schmo kick the shit out of him. Come on.
Raphael's a very emotional guy. You get in his head pretty easy. That's the point of that's the point of the movie. And so, like,
I also think the point of the movie is on their own. The Turtles aren't so great. If you want a motif in the original like movies, even the second one, Raph just gets his ass kicked all the time.
Yeah, it's true.
He like loses.
I mean, that famous sequence of
he goes off on his own and gets his ass kicked.
I know he's like the Wolverine. I understand.
I know, except it takes him like a week to heal. Raph goes in a coma.
I loved the dynamic between Donatello and Casey Jones when they were fixing the truck.
I like
the
Casey
farm.
too. I think he's quite obviously there to have a little romance subplot with April, and to avoid the whole weird Turtles flirting with her, even though they did anyway. But not too seriously when there's like a human person there to take that a little more seriously. I didn't mind him. I thought it was an interesting addition just to have someone else there, and obviously as a kid it's just, oh, that's another character, even though he didn't act at all like the cartoon version of him, who was insane.
Like every time I remember, like they're just like, dude, get the fuck out of here.
No,
he just wanted to fight all the time, right?
He wanted to break everything.
Yeah, that's it.
Like he wanted to break everything, and he was insane. He never took the mask off. I don't think they even animated like what his face would look like without the mask in the cartoon, but it's all right. I don't know. It was. I thought he was okay. Obviously, you can see sort of like the justification for shoving him in there, but
I realize why. I just think he was the worst character of the cast.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could get rid of him, it would be him. There's no one else you can really get rid of.
That's true.
There's not a lot of extra characters. The only thing I didn't like about this, and this is from someone who knew the cartoons first, and didn't know anything about the comics at this point, was they went with the comic book origin for Splinter, which I think is so dumb. I still think that's like the most logical retcon ever, to make him the actual his like owner in this. Just the whole like scene where he's like a little rat in a cage fighting, and Shredder acts like he remembers, like, oh, this is logical. Yeah, you're that rat in the cage.
You're that rat.
Like, you're the one who scratched me. It's like, what? Oh my god! But I guess that was the time where, okay, you can retcon this. Like, that's all right, but they didn't. But it's okay. It worked out in the end. It's easy to overlook, I guess, through the whole scheme of things in this movie.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember, Corey, was I with you when the camera broke in the theater, like with April O'Neil in the office? I can't remember that it was the first movie. I think it was the second movie.
Probably.
I was watching the movie, and
I know
we
saw some one of these movies together. I don't know which one it was.
It would have to be that one, because maybe it was Turtles 3 then. I don't know, but it was like I still remember to this day, like watching in the theater. Her boss, his name, comes into the office, and he goes, April, and the whole film just kind of splices out and it's done, and we're like, the screen goes black, and you're like, oh shit, there's gonna be a riot, and it's everybody's yelling at the screen.
I think we probably watched this on VHS, like not in the theater.
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so they're doing a reunion on this Saturday, actually, on May 23rd.
Yeah, it's the actress who was April in this one. What was her name again? Judith Hogg, something like that. Yeah. I'm sorry. But yeah, she seems to be like spearheading it a bit. I'm not sure who else is going to show up for it.
Well, apparently she learned about her character from Robin Williams because he had all the comic books and he lent them.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, she mentions him a lot actually. She said that like he vouched for her. I don't know how they knew each other beforehand.
They were in a movie together. I think they were working on the movie when doing this. Also, this was the last theatrical film that Jim Henson was associated with.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well,
he died like a month after this came out.
This is why people think that the animatronics got worse going forward.
That makes sense now, though. It really does.
Yeah, it was still his studio in the second movie.
Yeah,
I think it's someone else in the third they got to do.
Yeah, well,
something.
that makes more sense. But I just feel like yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense now to me. I didn't realize it was right around that time. So
yeah.
Wow.
This was a lot of stuff. It was kind of lots of stuff pivoted at this time, really. 1990.
I might have to do like a screening this Saturday here, like get some pizza. I might have to do that. I'm really thinking about this actually. The 23rd, I might do this. I mean, we're all stuck at home, but might as well have fun. There's a good pizza place I found by me. I found a new one. And so pizza for those don't eat pizza at all anymore. But there are exceptions I make when it's really good pizza, and I found really good pizza. Good. So yeah, it's like this thin crust, really really thin crust pizza. So really good by me. But maybe I'll watch. I
almost have it once a week now, and it's the Turtles.
Yeah,
it's ingrained in me. Like pizza is favorite food because of the Turtles, probably. Also, it's good.
Even bad pizza is still good. Usually. Yeah. So even bad pizza is still good. It is. It's true. You can have the second day, microwave.
Until you go to the Midwest, and then you're like, all right, never mind. That's
can't get a decent slice anywhere. Yeah.
Cold pizza is good too.
Cold pizza is good. Yeah. Oh. You can have it anyway. Oven baked, toaster.
Usually, if I have pizza the next day, I don't warm it up. I just eat it cold.
No, I usually oven that because I can crisp it up more than I even have it from the. I like it really crispy. So
just put it in the toaster.
Yeah, I say toaster oven, but
no, put it in the toaster.
Air fryer. Let's try the air fryer with this pizza stuff. Yeah. You can air fry everything. I air fried a burger last night. It worked. It was unbelievable.
I believe it. I mean, you're just frying with air.
Yeah. Anyways. It's just hot air blowing through something. It's like not a microwave, but anyways, back to the Turtles. So great movie. I just like, I think I'm going to pick this up now. It's like $8 on Amazon for the original. So it makes me really want to watch it. Turtles 2 is $8. They're all $8 right now, except for Turtle 3. That's $7.
You get the 3-pack for like $12.
But where's the 3-pack?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I got that a while ago. I actually have it over here.
I know Matt's got it. I don't have it here. So.
But the thing is, so going forward, have we had a better incarnation of the Turtles?
We have not.
We have action? No.
Yeah.
We have not.
Live action? No.
What animated have we had?
The early 2000s. Yeah, we have several animated.
I know, but I mean, like 2007.
I don't know if
the early
2003 or 4 one.
Yeah, that was really good.
It's funny because everyone says that was great, and I haven't watched it. Like I watched a little bit of it, but
is that the one with Sarah Michelle Gellar as April?
No. That's another movie.
Wait, 2007.
That's no. Animated. This is a cartoon.
We're talking about television now.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about TV. Oh, I thought you meant like. Okay, I was talking about just movies straight up. Like I was gonna give you Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That one was okay.
No, even though they had
2 animated movies.
They had TMNT, which was not that great.
There was one where they crossed over with the old Turtles, like the.
I never saw that. Like the Turtles.
Turtles Forever.
Turtles Forever. Yeah, I never saw that actually.
That was no, but that was you're talking about the 2003 series that kind of lasted a while.
Yeah.
That was the one where they don't have pupils or anything. It was it was a more serious version, but what I didn't like about it is they made like Shredder an alien robot. So that sort of ended it for me. But that happened pretty early on. But other than that, though, people swear by it. I have to go back and watch all of it. But yeah, there hasn't been much. Obviously, the base stuff came out. It's there. It's not great.
Oh, it's not good. I mean, the costumes are the worst part. If they just made the costumes better, we'd be fine here.
They're not costumes.
I know what you mean, but the design is just terrible.
Yeah, and then you were talking about the 2007, I want to say, CGI movie. With Sarah Michelle Gellar's April. It was okay. It wasn't great. And I don't know where they go from here, but the more it could get back to kind of what this first movie was, the better, I think.
I think.
Yeah, I just don't think the market is there for that because, like,
you don't think they could do like an animatronic style movie? You don't think they could do that?
No. I mean, they could, but I just don't think because Nickelodeon has the rights. I don't think they're in that business at all.
No.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't see Nickelodeon doing that anymore. I can't see them paying another studio to do it for them, especially when animation is so cheap.
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. I just feel like if we did CG, I'd like to see
even SpongeBob. The SpongeBob movie is CG, right?
But don't you think like they should do?
I don't think that's gonna do as good, honestly.
I don't think they should do like a CG version of the original designs, like these costumes.
They actually had some foreign company did a commercial with that recently, and people were real excited about it. So
even like the
it's
look
possible.
of the turtles in Justice was good. I like that. They
but they were kind of based on this movie.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like you can just do it the base. You don't have to like dress them up in all these like crazy tribal looking gear like the new movies we're doing.
I mean, the big thing again about these new movies is they wanted to like match the mouth movements, so they had to give them lips, and that just doing that alone, I would rather it be like inexact, like obvious fake talking over just giving the turtles lips like that, because it's just so weird. I'm sorry, it's just an ugly look. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. So we would like to. I don't know where they're gonna go for this going forward. I don't see them making the big screen again for a long time, if ever. It's come to the point where like Nickelodeon has new series comes out for them. They try new things, it fails, and then they try it again in a few years. So I don't know. I just don't see it ever getting to that point.
The previous Nickelodeon series was pretty good, I thought. Even though
it was. You're right.
Raph as leader, or the one before that?
Before that, the one that was on for like 5 years or so. But this new one I can't get into at all. I don't even know if it's still going, or I'm sure
it's over now. I believe
it's over already.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty certain.
If it is, that means it didn't catch on much, which I kind of didn't think it would. But we'll see what they do. I wouldn't. Obviously, it's Nickelodeon, so this isn't really a possibility. I wouldn't be opposed to if they want to make like a bigger change up, make them a little older, make them 20-something Ninja Turtles. I wouldn't mind that at this point.
It wouldn't be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles anymore.
No, 20-something Ninja Turtles, or just Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
or if you want to keep that acronyms, make them 18-19. Just
the last Nickelodeon show ended in 2017 for this, didn't it?
Oh, jeez.
Are you sure?
That's
the Rise.
Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was on July 27, 2018. Nickelodeon renewed the series for a second season.
Really? I don't even see that on my list.
That's still going. It's because no one wants to count that because it's
original release 2018 to present.
Yeah, to present. It's still technically alive.
That one's still going.
I mean, I still see the toys out in there.
Yeah. It definitely looks weird.
I did think the previous one though, the one before that.
That was okay.
It was a good marriage again.
5 years, yeah.
I said of something for a new generation, but also like having the same spirit as what the older people understood about it. Because I could watch it. Like me and my brother actually did watch like the first 2 seasons of that before they broke up the seasons in weird sort of DVD packages that made no sense to us. But it was solid, and I don't know, going forward, hopefully it gets back to that. I don't really like the new direction. As long as there's something, I'm fine with it, but obviously it's got to kind of remain kid accessible.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind a darker movie again. Not like dark, but like, solid PG again. But we'll see.
Yeah. We'll see. All right. I think it's going to wrap up 497 of the Moviecast. Thanks for
there's a feature film in the works. Sorry, real quick for Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. On February 5th, 2019, it was announced that a feature film based on the series was in production for Netflix.
Oh, okay. Netflix. Okay, I thought, like, big screen-wise, I didn't think about Netflix could be a nice outlet for that. So, I guess I should check this series out a little bit.
I have no interest in seeing Rise of Ninja Turtles. The whole thing is just too much wrong for me.
The art, you just can't get past the art.
No, the art, the way everyone looks. It's like
the art.
It reminds me of like Sonic Boom, like that stuff. Like it's just Knuckles is rash.
Too much of a drastic change from what you.
Too much yeah, and the roles of the characters are all different. It's just not the same thing anymore at that point.
Well, you gotta make Wolverine the leader.
Series has been out for what, 25, 30 years?
87.
You gotta make it
like
fresh.
the
show. Like, make it fresh. Make it 20.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. That'll wrap up 497 of the Moviecast. You can write us podcast at allyoucangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, allyoucangeek. Like us on Facebook. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. See you guys next week. We're out.